Hello and welcome to another set of turns of Dominion 6. I'm the False God and we are playing as Pyrene, jumping in on turn 11. Let's see. We've got here, our prophet has died, or has finished leaving the world, so we can go ahead and get him back. We're up against the Bloodhenge Druids. So these Dark Vines are kind of scary, right? They've got a bunch of attacks, they have a lot of HP. There's not all that much else here. We're gonna try and distract in the middle with some of this stuff, and then send our cav around and assassinate all the mages. The Dark Vines just disappear. So we'll see if we can manage that. It so far doesn't look like it. It looks like these dudes are gonna make contact here. Oh no. Well, they are gonna make contact. At least some of them are. But they're gonna chop right through those. Here comes some enemy imps. Here we had some of our guys get caught by the Dark Vines. Others, though, are managing to get through to the back. So picked off one of their guys. Gonna fight our way through some imps. They routed over here. Ultimately, we're gonna go ahead and kill the Dark Vines before we kill all the leadership, but it was close. No losses. So that's great news. Another forest for us. So we're gonna need to get a lab going here. I think we're gonna move our Sorgina here to do this. We're holding on to some treasury here to make that possible. Searching with our Arcabelts. One Arcabelts is recruiting. Still making Sorginas out of the capital with Emerald Knights and a handful of men-at-arms, which can help with blood searching. Besides that, building our palisade here. Just 2 months left on that, and then we're heading south with this group to look at taking Strong Bay. We should have a pretty good shot at it, right? There's not a lot of ways in here. Almost totally cut off by this mountain range. So we're going to be slow on it, but hopefully we should get it. And we can now see Jotun is here. So Jotun extends from here to here. So that feels pretty big. Now, we're not going to be able to effectively fight him sort of going north. Obviously, this river cuts us off pretty well. But if his dominion pushes, and particularly in the winter, right, we could end up with snow that lets us clear the river. We could also try and team up with Nabah. Try and take him out. Or we could do something else. It's not, I think, set in stone yet. But there's at least, right, probably 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 provinces between his farthest two, whereas ours is like 3, 4, 5. So it's also possible he could be kind of long and skinny. Like we can't see this stuff or over here, but for now he looks pretty large, so it's kind of frightening. And I still think that the geography is going to tend to lead to him being our main competition. So, research-wise, still heading up alteration. But so yeah, not a 10 going on this turn. Let's go ahead and jump to 12. We found the statue of the sitting god. For those that aren't familiar, this boosts order and is an enchantment bonus and makes a pearl. So this obviously, any kind of bonus site is big. What I will say is that I reviewed our enchantment options, and they're actually not great, particularly early in the game. So when we sort of look at, we have Fire 1, right? We do not have the cross path for Terracotta Army. Fire 1 is a pretty long way from Fire 6. By the time we get to Enchantment 6, right, we can maybe look to getting Eternal Pyre up. The Fire 1 does make it a little harder to find sites. But, so Fire, not doing a ton, maybe a Gem Gen later. We don't have any water. We do have decent earth. We don't have this cross path. We have enlivened statues, and statues are okay. And then we have Earthblood Deepwell, basically. I don't think we need riches. So again, not a ton, except some kind of late game Gem Gen. Air. obviously is one of our good paths, and this will help us, it's a good place to launch Cloud Trapeze out of. It'll make them one cheaper. Trade wind doesn't matter. So not really a lot in air either. Seeking Arrow gets cheaper as well, but we need a booster to cast that, so that's pretty expensive, and it's not exactly like it's amazing. Obviously there's no blood in enchantment. So like the big spells that I usually tend to think of in enchantment that really, that really help are, Nexus obviously gets the nod, but that's level 8 Astral. It's very far away. We're nowhere near casting it. Yada yada yada. The whole 9 yards. Death is the one I think of the most with reanimation. Reanimation, Revive King, Revenants. We don't have it quite enough. We don't have any death. We have no death right now, but theoretically, I kind of like Death Pale Riders. And there's some good stuff. Twiceborn, of course. There's some good stuff here in Death that we're not really going to get access to because we haven't got any. And then Glamour, I honestly don't know. We don't have any Glamour. Simulacrum seems good. I don't think we need that. Dome. This is another one province guy. Yeah, nothing really coming out of Glamour either. So, I guess we didn't really check nature. Which obviously is one of our biggest path, besides blood. Here, Fairy Trod, we can't do because we don't have the Glamour. There's a dome. Gift of Health is nice. Awakened Tree Lord is okay. We obviously have big nature, but they're still decent. Gift of Nature's Bounty is big, but that's up at enchantment 9. So unfortunately, we're not going to get quite as much out of an enchantment bonus as we might have gotten from some others. If this had been like a blood bonus, whoa, would have been insane. But no dice on that. So we're going to go ahead and build our lab, keep moving around to site search, and just kind of keep... we're going to patrol down some unrest. I think there was a negative unrest event, if I recall. Need to get all that out. And we're going to try and take Strong Bay. And then we're going to see what we want to do from there. We're going to try and get all of our Acrobelts recruited. We can maybe try and get some early blood economy going. The Acrobelts are excellent hunters. And if our army isn't busy doing something else, they can patrol for us. We could also look at Thrones. These are both... have a lot of enemy units on them. So that's a little frightening. I think this one is actually not so hard to take. I'm a little more worried about this one, but we'll try and get those when our army is not otherwise busy. This one too has the Watchers and the Monolith, which is a little tricky. This one is potentially more doable. We have to get up to it, but did we ping this? And Man pinged this. So they're probably thinking about it, but this one would be huge to allow us to get this. We can also see that Jotunheim is in fact rolling out with Thrym's Herdings. Let's go ahead and wait for the bless. Oops. So they've got True Sight and Larger. True Sight obviously will help them against Nabah. Doesn't do a ton versus us. And Larger, giving them some extra HP, some extra strength. Their broadsword's going to hit pretty hard. But nothing here scares us, right? No extra resistances, so they're just as susceptible as shock as they were before. No magic weapons to counteract or at least not awake magic weapons to counteract our Mist Form rush on our guys. So this guy is just going to have a terrible time actually sort of getting through our stuff. So I'm not terribly worried. Giants are always vulnerable to, tar pitting the battlefield. So we might look at such technologies as, I don't remember what I was looking at. Death, nature. Clear. There we go. We might look at such technologies, such fanciful things as summon imps, which is always pretty nice. Storm demons would obviously be insane, a little bit farther away. Not sure if we would have them in time, as we are going to, excuse me, going to be going for this alteration. This alteration 4, which has our Mistform, also contains Swarm and Group Barkskin, and we don't care about the fire resistance either against this particular foe. So a lot of potential goodies for us at Alt 4 that should make it really hard for Jotunheim to prosper. But we could still get attacked by man. Yuan and I have sort of an agreement, so hopefully that side is secure. I don't think that Ulm is, especially given the way this looks, it kind of looks like there's Asphodel. So Ulm kind of must have snaked up. So that's going to make this a really hard war for him to prosecute, I would imagine. And he's going to have Asphodel problems, I think. Meanwhile, our Asphodel border is currently protected by this mountain range. So just kind of the 3 players to worry about. This is also kind of awkward for man, although if he gets like this throne, that will make it easier for him. But still, for now, this is what we're looking at and what we're kind of researching for. So yeah, besides that, you know, our troops are moving out, building the palisade. Let's go ahead and go to 13. Non-aggression pact with Ulm, so that border should be nice and settled. Missed our magic sites. Dormant pretender gods are waking up. We've got our battle in Strong Bay. Yeah, we just got our little group of knights against the enemy group of knights and mounted archers. So we mostly are just gonna chew right on through all this stuff. I've been very impressed with our Mouflon riding Emerald Knights. They have done a very good job for me so far. No losses. Got a +1 luck, that's nice. Earth gems are nice. And we've restored order to Pyrene, which is our biggest income source. And we finished our palisade. So Strong Bay is another 25,700. You know, this is just shy of 29. So a lot of good income for us to take use of. We've got our lab here. We've got our lab here. Making acrobelts in all of our labs. We're building a lab here. I was a turn slow, which is unfortunate, although we wouldn't necessarily have been able to afford to do it any other way. Our Dominion is kind of getting pushed. We don't have any Dominion here, which is annoying. But hopefully that should spread out. We don't have a huge need to build temples in and of themselves. We have no or very few good recruitable sacred options. But I'm trying to, you know, take lessons from previous mistakes. And like one example that's in my head throughout this game is when I had Scales Hinnom and just didn't build enough temples, didn't do enough blood sacrificing, and the fact that I was Scales didn't matter because none of my land had my Scales. So we're going to try and keep Dominion in mind as we're going through this. I'm keeping my scout here. Or, well, he's moving, but I'm moving another scout here. I'm interested to see, I want to be able to see if man does attack this, because if he fails, I want to be able to try and capitalize. Fort going up here. Here's Jotunheim. So now we kind of can see the whole field of view. So he's not as big as we thought. He's pushed in here, pushed in on this side. But he's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. He's at least 17. Could be 18. 19, 20. Could have any of these. Whereas we are 2, 7, 10. We're only 15. So he's a little bit bigger than we are. Did I get that right? 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 15. Now we've got a throne encircled and some other potential thrones to go after, but he's got a little bit of a province lead on us. We are coming up 2 turns away from Alt 3. We definitely want Alt 4 before we have to fight, if we can help it. Also, for anyone who hasn't seen, you can now see people's blessings, which is really cool. You don't have to remember them anymore, which is pretty nice. So yeah, we're going to keep trying to search. Unfortunately, we don't really have thaumaturgy as part of our research anytime soon for searching with auspex or augury. We actually can't even cast augury, so we're going to be manually site searching for fire and air for a bit, as well as our others. We're going to try and get the forests eventually searched up higher than 2, because there's a good chance that they might have something extra for our nature. But we're going to do our best with the site searching that we have. You know, diverting some resources there from a recruitment or a research point perspective. But okay, let's do, and we're still recruiting this stuff in our capital. Bodyguards for later, as well as our sacreds. We probably, this is something I'm sort of, you know, we could be recruiting, we probably should have recruited some scouts this turn. Probably a miss. Because we do need to start our castle next turn, so it's going to cost us some money. All right, let's do one more turn. Let's go to 14. Here we found 2 sites, which is pretty great. 2 nature and a hedge wizard. The hedge wizard is not obviously particularly great, but we could potentially recruit them to do cheap nature 1 things. You know, spending an Acrobelt's turn forging a nature 1 item when you could be spending a hedge wizard turn feels pretty bad. We also found 2 earth and 2 nature. So this forest is actually at a whopping 6 gems. So we're definitely going to want to try and hold on to that. We've been pretty fortunate in some ways in our site searching now, right? That's 6 gems. We've gotten another gem with a discount site. Got a gem here. That's a mine. But so we're still a long ways to go. We can see, yeah, another fortress. So Jotunheim has got a completed fort plus 2 more fortifications. So he's gonna be ahead of us on fortifications pretty significantly as well. On the bright side, if we do fight him and win, we can take all of his fortifications, or at least hopefully a bunch of them. Besides that, we're still sneaking about. We're gonna go do some more site searching in a couple more places, recruiting up mages where we can. And this is where I think I commit to saying we're gonna fight Jotunheim, and we're gonna start to get these 2-handers, because they'll do great work at chopping through Jotunheim's nonsense. I do think in retrospect that there was probably an opportunity here to fight this. We've got what's this? 21 of our sacreds here, another 7, 28, another 26. We got 50 plus sacreds. We might have been able to take this, but we don't have any relevant mage support to give them yet. Because we're still just 1 turn. I'm sorry, we're still 1 turn off of Alt 3, but we're even farther off Alt 4, which is excuse me, where the good stuff really comes in. So didn't quite feel ready for this. So we'll try and snag that in the future. Here we're just doing a little preaching to get our I guess we have more guys here. Get that Dominion in there. Make sure nobody else's negative Dominion gets in. This is a really easy lake to take if we can manage to get units. I did not try for the shipwreckers. They're going to get bid up a ton. They'd be great to have, but we're never going to get them. And I just want to spend the money on our fortress and like getting our stuff in order. I just don't think we're going to ever actually get the shipwreckers. So, all right, we can do one more. We're going to push up on 20 minutes. We're just kind of cruising through. It's kind of a chill early game here. Naba wants a nap, so we're going to go ahead and accept that. We'd kind of just been waiting to make sure everybody had the right borders. we went ahead and made one of our emerald counts into a profit. Fascia pings a throne. Asphodel is attacking Fascia. That's the first we see of that. Our scout gets found out. So Fascia is, I want to say, located here. And you can see Asphodel won that fight in his cap circle. So Fascia looks like they could be in some trouble. This, by the way, is the saddest little Fascia sea. Not a lot of sailing going on around this one little lake. So, I think we're rooting. So this is Kirby and this is Distant Horizon. I think nowadays we're rooting for Fascia, because I think Asphodel is a lot stronger than they once were. In the past, right, Asphodel could come out of the gate strong, all their people died, they ran out of gold, and then they fell off really hard. And maybe that's still the case, I guess we'll see. But I know that they have received a number of buffs. So, I'm not thrilled with a huge pop kill nation. On the bright side for us, they don't border us very much. So as long as we can get their Dominion out, it may be that they'll draw a lot of fire from other neighbors, and we can sort of, we're not the scariest thing on the map with our big blood, because that is one of my concerns this game, is that we are by far the bloodiest, and so one of the best scaling, if not the best scaling. But other than that, yeah, we're still just moving our troops around, doing a little research, doing a little searching. I think we'll go ahead and call the video here on turn 15. So this is, the last video I think I titled Finishing Expansion, and this is kind of just a little bit of consolidation and trying to get some research before we go into a first war. So thanks everybody for joining me, and I can promise it'll get spicy enough soon. So thanks, have a great day, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye.